everybody. Joel and Jeremy here. It is your games of the month for April. Jeremy brings baseball and softball, although, well, Mother Nature and Old Man Winter seem to be hanging around a little bit here. So we don't really kind of know. So and maybe we could talk about that. First is these ball fields, the baseball and softball fields. They got great groundskeepers, but it's more than just melting the snow off these fields to get them ready.
It really is. Luckily, Joel, everyone you talk to, it doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of frost in the ground. So if we can get some nice slow melting, it's really going to benefit a lot of our ball fields in the area. And, what's the old saying? April showers bring May flowers. And, it's going to be a little dirty in April, but hopefully by the middle of the month, we're going strong. And we've seen it so many times, Joel, where the spring season can really, really get condensed. Hopefully we get a good solid 6 or 7 weeks that we can get that in before we go to section time, because next month, Joel, when you and I chat next, we're going to be talking about looking ahead to what's happening as we move into the postseason.
We certainly are. Now, for this month, since we don't really, with the uncertainty with the winter and all that, we're not going to mention games. We're instead going to mention teams that we think you should be listening to and watching here. And we'll start off on the baseball side, because we got 2 top 5 ranked teams in Class 2A. Glencoe Silver Lake is rated number 5. Watertown Mayor is rated number 2. So that means that's a pretty good battle for the Wright County Conference West right there.
It really is. And then when you factor in the Central Raiders from Norwood Young America into that equation, because a lot of people are kind of sleeping on them, well, they're loaded. They bring back just about everybody. You've got 3 potential top 15 teams in the state battling it out in that section. And what can you say about Watertown Mayor? They got a little bit of a taste last year, Joel, getting to that state tournament. That was a younger bunch. That was a veteran bunch, but they were all juniors. Well, now they're seniors. With GSL, we know Dean Schwartz is going to have them ready to play. And then John Rogie is bringing back pretty much his entire pitching staff for the Central Raiders. It's going to be really fun to kind of see how that section works out. I think Watertown Mayor on paper is going to be the favorite, but as you and I both know in baseball, it can be a pebble in the field, it can be a cleat mark, it can be one error, and it can change the complexion of the game. So it should really, really be fun to watch who comes out of that section. And I would say those are 3 of the favorites, especially in our area.
Let's go over to the softball side a little bit here. As of this recording, we couldn't find any rankings, but one team that I think is going to be super improved this year are the Hutchinson Tigers. They were a 6th seed in the section last year. They ran and they had some upset wins. They finished 3rd place in the section, finished with 13 wins, and they bring back about 4 of their top 5 players, and that includes their 2 pitchers. If you bring back both of your pitchers, baseball or softball, that's going to lead to some improvement.
It can make for an exciting spring. And, Joel, we sometimes haven't always had premier softball programs in this area, but the Hutch Tigers look like they're poised to maybe build off that section run that they had last year. Another team that no one's really talking about, the GSL Panthers, their softball team returns a pretty valuable core from what we saw them do last year. They had a little bit of a section run. So I really, really think that, building up that excitement, we know that the Central Raiders always have a really tough team. They've got that difficult section that they have to deal with every year with Lee Sewer Henderson to get through. And they do have a couple injuries that might keep them down. But we definitely got some teams this spring that are going to be worth keeping an eye on in section softball, and it should be a fun one. And like we said, Joel, you and I get together next month, we're going to know a little bit more about these teams, and things are going to slowly be starting to take shape for that section run.
That is certainly true, and when that is, we don't know, but those are some of the teams that you can hear on KDUZ, KARP, and KGLB. We will look forward to when these games actually get on the fields.